Oh, hi. Welcome back. Yeah. It's been a couple days. I have since kind of browsed, fiddled, and not done a whole lot of actually substantial things on this project. So I thought I would fix that today, since it's my day off. One of them. So we're going to start with the underdress that I showed you last time. I think I've picked a fabric for it, which I don't have yet. I am actually going to make it out of some IKEA blankets. Potentially. I have to go see them tonight and find out. In the meantime, I need to make a pattern for the dress. Now, I have a dress that I would really like to just like reproduce for this purpose. But the sleeves are not exactly what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mimic the shape of the body. Basically, I'm going to create a pattern out of the existing dress I have for the body of the dress. And then like on the original, the sleeves come down to like here. So I'm just going to bring that shoulder seam back up to my actual shoulder and then hopefully draft some cute bishop sleeves to go on it. Now the reason I wanted to start with this one is so that I know exactly how much thickness of fabric I'm going to have to deal with when I am building the outer kirtle. And also, the sooner I get the underdress done, that's the one that's going to have the most embroidery on it, I think, probably. So the sooner I can actually get embroidering, the sooner I can get this project done, which is a good thing. Kirtle, I might have enough of that, of this fabric to make the outer kirtle. I need to buy the blankets from IKEA though, just to make sure that this color is going to work. Because if it's not contrasting enough, I'm probably going to have to get a different fabric, in which case I'm going to need to go on a trip to a fabric place, whether that be Value Village or any of the other number of thrift stores here in the city, or if I'm going to actually have to go to Fabricland, or like I'm doing with the underdress, go buy a blanket from somewhere and see if that works. In any case, I'm gonna get started on creating a pattern out of the other dress. Let's go. Okay, so this is the dress I want to reproduce, but as you can see, the shoulder seam is down here, so it's not really a shoulder seam, it's like an arm seam. I want it to actually be up here on my shoulder, so I'm just going to take my pin, find kind of where my shoulder ends, like where I want the seam to be, and then I'm going to stick a pin on it. Now, I don't think I need to do it on either side because I'm pretty symmetrical in the shoulder width department, so I'm not too worried about that. So the new shoulder seams will be here and here, and then I will create bishop sleeves to go on it. The reason I want to reproduce this dress, as you can see, is it's really comfy because it's got a lot of space in here. And also once I created the new dress, I can wear it by itself as well and just like put a cute little belt on it or whatever. It'll be a more versatile piece, which I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm going for. Also, this is a bit too short for what I'm trying to do. So I'm also going to lengthen it by like 6 inches, because this is currently like, I'd say about 4 inches above my knee, and I want it to be about an inch or two below my knee. So yeah, it'll get lengthened as well. So got to adjust the shoulder seam and then make it longer, but otherwise this is really going to be quite easy to do because it's literally one front piece and one back piece. And the neckline is like ideal because it's modest, like there's no things poking out. There's nothing poking out that I don't want poking out, and it also has a low enough neckline that it doesn't make me look bulky up top. So we're going to get started on tracing this out. Let's head to the floor. Yeah. Hi. welcome to my floor. So this is my cutting mat that I usually use for quilting because it's got all these lovely squares on it. It's just a generic cutting mat though. Well, it's not generic. It has a brand name, but not important right now. So I've got this lovely thing. It's basically just going to be working as a hard surface right now because that's all I really need it for. Now I don't actually have proper pattern paper. What I do have is this newsprint paper that I got from work that they were just going to throw out. So I have acquired it for myself. And I'm planning on using this for the pattern making process. Hopefully I can get all of this in shut. So this is the dress that I have since taken off. See, the pin is still in there from where I pinned off the shoulder seam. I don't know if you can actually see that. It's still there, I promise. Look at that little pin. So what I'm going to do, because these are being basically going to be cut on the fold, at least that's what I'm hoping to do, is cut these on the fold. I'm going to cut out half of a pattern. So I'm going to fold this dress in two. Now, if you ask me, Lizzie, is this how you actually draft a pattern? The answer that I'm going to give you is, I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along. So, I guess enjoy that for what it's worth. Oof. Sleeves of sadness. You get tucked in. Hey. Alright, so I'm going to plop this down on this lovely newsprint paper. I'll line everything up as best I can with the edge here. Everything's all buggered. Doot, doot. Doot, doot. Okay. Line that all up. So I'm probably going to have to tape two pieces of paper together for this, but that's fine. At that point, it literally is going straight down starting about here, which is right at the edge of the paper, so I can just draw a straight line and add this plus 6 inches to it. Which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add just straight 6 inches, and then if it's too long, I can cut it off. So let's get started here. Got that all tucked in. I'm going to keep that as my Oh, I just realized I have an issue with this. Because I'm going to have to create an arm's eye. That might be fun. We'll see. Maybe I'll just end up copying this dress straight up. We'll see. Together. As a family. Are we a family now? I think we're a family now. You're my family now. You have no choice in the matter. Excuse me while I attempt to find a pencil. Because my house hides pencils. Like they are precious treasures. And then all of my pencils go missing. Inevitably. I found a pencil. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace. Now again, I don't know if I'm doing this right. We're going to find out as I sew it if I'm doing this right. I'm going to start by doing the back, which is this neckline here. So I'm just going to trace that. Now, of course, none of this is going to include seam allowances, which is fun. And then I'm going to take this and do there's where the pin sits. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to trace down here. Cool. And now comes the fun part, wherein I have to create an arm's eye, which I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but we're gonna find out together. That's what mock-ups are for, right? Okay. So there's that. So this is my French curve. It's clear, which is not showing up on camera naturally. I bought it off Amazon for pretty cheap. We'll see what happens. I've never really properly used it before. I'm just gonna go, oh heckin' no. That looks about right. That looks like an arm's eye. Right? Right. Sure. Yeah, that looks like an arm's eye to me. It's a giant arm's eye, but that's fine because I kind of want the same style of sleeve as this. And as you can see, it's literally just pleated up square of fabric from what I can tell, which is going to make drafting these sleeves super easy. That has no light on it, which is not helpful. There we go. So you can see it's just a bunch of, it's literally just ruffled. Not ruffled, that's the wrong word. Gathered! There we go. I knew it'd come to me eventually. It's just a big square that's been gathered into the actual arm's eye. Now, I really, really like that idea because it's going to make my life so much easier. And then a slightly smaller rectangle that goes into a cuff down here at the bottom. So we're going to try to reproduce this sleeve. I just need to make it the right length, essentially, because this will be too short. Now, who knows? Maybe I'll just end up completely reproducing this exact dress just to give me more room for embroidery. This is definitely too big of an arm's eye, though. Like, that's a huge arm's eye. We're not doing that. We're going to have to bring that up a little bit. Race, race, race. Scribble, scribble, scribble. This seems to be following this curve pretty nice. I'm just gonna keep her going. So I think the arm's eye. Let me an angle. I'm gonna go figure out how to make an arm's eye and I'll be back. Oh, hi there. So, I've decided this is a bodice block that I made a while ago, which is basically a basic top pattern that you can modify into whatever shape you want that I've made a while ago. It's not quite the right size. I still have to do some editing. But I am going to use this arm's eye because I know that it fits really, really well. And I'm going to basically put this arm's eye on here. That's what I'm going to do. Because I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. Boop. There we go. Because I know this works. And I know this fits. Which is, like, it fits up where it should be underneath the arm. And it fits on my shoulder. So, copying it just seems logical. Am I doing this correctly? Nobody knows. Surely not me. I also realized that you can't see what I'm doing because none of my pencil marks show up. So I'm also going to go grab a Sharpie and make these lines actually visible to you. Woohoo! Sharpie acquired. So this is obviously going to be for the back of the dress. We'll deal with the front in a hot minute. So, where to put the curve? We'll do this, match that back neckline. I'm just going to trace it. And then I'm going to take my straight edge. I'm going to trace this line, which is the shoulder. You can see that a little bit better, I think. Zoom. There you go. So you can see this is the back neckline, the back shoulder. Take my curve and redo this arm's eye. And then this actually looks somewhere along the lines of a curve as well. Cannot determine. Yep, there we go. So this is also a curve. So it does have some shape to it, even though it kind of just looks like a stick. There we go. So that's the upper portion of the pattern. I just need to now figure out what the end length is going to be and make it longer. So I'm going to do that, and we will see you when that is done. Okay, welcome back. I finished tracing out the pattern. You can't see that. I measured the original dress. The original hem length was 36 inches. I measured, however, from my shoulder right here, basically where the dress collar is, straight down over my bust, straight down to kind of where I wanted it to sit. And it's roughly 42 inches. So I added the extra inches from 36 to 42. But then I added an extra 2 inches just to make sure that I have enough. I've also made a note here that there is no seam allowance on this pattern. So that if I want to make this again, I don't come into it thinking there's seam allowance and then end up making it too small by accident. Just going to tape this seam a little better. I'm going to tape this one. Alright, so I'm going to cut this out. Ta-da! It's cut out. So we have a back pattern. It's really long, which is kind of what I wanted, so I'm not going to complain too much. And now I'm just going to repeat this process for the front, but I will show you how I'm going to mark the neckline when we get there. So I'm going to do the basic outline, basically trace this, and then be back when that's done to show you how to reproduce the front neckline, assuming I can figure it out. Okay, we're back. I've got most of this traced out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the shoulders again, like this. I'm just going to take note of where this ends. Take my Sharpie, and I'm just going to make a mark now. Yes. So I'm going to make a mark right where the V is. Right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my French curve again. Now, I could do this, but I don't really want to. I'm going to use the inside of my French curve, line that up with that, and it'll give me this nice curve that goes in and then back out again. So I'm going to use that, line up the points along the ruler, and then just do that. And there's the front piece. So I'm just going to cut this out. And there we go. It's all cut out. I've also labeled it as front with no seam allowance, and the back is now back with no seam allowance. So that is now the body of the dress, essentially. And then fold it together. Sewed it the shoulder. And along the side. Now, watching a lot of costuming YouTube means that I feel the overwhelming urge to make a mock-up for this. But the problem is the fabric I'm going to be making this out of is a loose enough weave that it could be considered a knit from how stretchy it's going to be. And I don't really have knit fabrics, really. Other than one particular type of fabric, which I'm saving for a different project. I'm going to go look and see if I have anything that would work for a mock-up for this. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of honestly just trusting that it'll work based off of that. Either that or I will find a woven medium and make it out of that. And if it works in a woven medium, though it might not fall the same or drape the same, I will use it just to make sure that the fit is good. And hopefully the arm size is cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna go check my fabric stash and I will see you in a minute, either doing a mock-up or just saying heck it and not making a mock-up. We will see. Hello friends, this is Editing Lizzie coming to you from the future to let you know that the next part of the video would have made this an exceedingly long video. So I have made the executive decision to make you wait for it until next week. So stay tuned.